William Dowling, leading Irish trainer and breeder, is now going to give us some dogs to follow for the year. And obviously, I'm sure there's a few we know, Liam, a few that have done you well, done you proud already so far this year, and some that you can probably tell us about. Let's start with superstar bitch Ballymac Ariel. What are your broader plans for her for the year?
At present, she's entered in the Caribbean Limerick, and after that, we're unsure whether we'll take it to the English Derby or concentrate on the Oaks and in Ireland, which I think is on in May. But we will be after that. You know, you're talking about the derbies and major competitions right throughout the country for the year. And apart from she coming in season, I can't see why we'd run her frequently. And she's a young bitch. She's a very fast bitch, but injury free. She'll be taking part in most big competitions.
Who would you say is the best dog in your kennel at the moment?
That's a very difficult one. Judy, listen, there's dogs there probably. Ballymac Cooper is coming to the end of his journey probably. He's a little niggle at the moment. We're trying to iron that one out. Great name that, who was in the final of the Easter Cup. Again, he's possibly English Derby bound if all going well, and obviously the Irish Derby. Ballymac Wild, again, he won the juvenile last year. He's been in the Derby final, a great dog again. But I think he's probably a dog for the summertime. I noticed he's one dog that's always terribly cold, and he has been terribly cold, but at least we're gone into March, April now, and I think I can see that dog changing a little bit. Not that I'm promising the world or anything with him, but I feel he will be a better dog in the summer. So I'm looking forward to him. This is his year really to perform. Kingdom is a dog again who's been a fantastic seven for us. Has won 600-yard competitions, 750 yards competitions, 550 yards competitions. But again, there's competitions. The 600-yard competition is starting in Dublin, I think, in the next couple of weeks. And again, if he stays sound, he could go to the English Derby. Of the younger stock, we had a couple of dogs in the juvenile and Tralee, Ballymac Belvolt and Merlin, who are brothers. Again, I think they have a bright future. They're probably just 18 to 20 months. Cash Out is an exciting young dog. He goes in the Kirby, and hopefully we will take him to England if we're going to England. We have a bitch there called Ballymac Art, who's been a super bitch for us. Picked up a little injury there about a fortnight ago, so we'll be sidelined for the next 5 or 6 weeks. But hopefully we'll get her back for the Oaks. What else have we got? Ballymac Wisdom, who's will possibly run in some 50-yard competitions for the remainder of the year, bar coming in season or things like that. And we have a few young pups then that are just qualified. And if you ask me their names, I couldn't even tell you their names. But we have a lot of young stock coming after that. But I said the ones I just mentioned would be our major players for the year. Yeah.
You mentioned these names and the dogs that you've bred and trained, and then you're going to, you carry on to brief, and then the likes of Ballymac Bonnie and things, then it just makes us all realise like how many good dogs come out of your kennel. I think by anyone's standards, the last few years for you have been exceptional. Do you learn all the time whilst you're breeding and training and rearing? Is it something that you're constantly learning out, or do you feel like you've sort of got it nailed now? So it looks like you have it nailed.
Yeah, I don't think you ever have it nailed. I spent 20 minutes today looking at stud dogs for bitches that I think are just after coming into season. But you can overdo that really, and you could spend hours looking at it. But I think you have to take a chance. It's like life, really. You have to take a chance to, and if the bitch is going to breed, she's going to breed to a reasonable greyhound. I mean, you don't have to go to the tip top stud dog. And I think if you look after the pups and good husbandry, I think she will breed. There's no real massive secret. There's a little bit of obviously hard work and all the rest of it. But look, it's just not me here. I have a big team behind me. And to all the lads in the yard, there's a big thank you, because this wouldn't happen without them. Jane is there, who's been my rock for since I started this business, and she was there from day one, more or less, when she came back from the States, and she's fell in with me. So my son Shane and I have 4 to 5 to permanent and a couple of part-time. My wife had a big woman behind the scenes. So it's a thing that's changing, evolving. Maybe once upon a time we sold more dogs, but as the years creep on, we probably changed the business a little bit, and we've kept a few now running the business and probably keeping them for either good brews or good studs. But how will I put it? It's going to evolve again and maybe change again, and we'll have to evolve with it to keep it on the road, and you have to keep freshening it up all the time. And you know, if you sit in your laurels, I don't think it's ever going to succeed. So like any business, be it a soccer team or a rugby team or any walk of life, and you have to keep changing with the times.